welcome to Nirmal Bank, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral. We have with us Ria Singh, technical analyst, currencies, joining in. Ria, welcome to the show. Ria, my first question coming to you is, today's session overall, if you go to see the Indian rupee, we've closed close to say 75.31 kind of levels during the session. What's the kind of direction you're expected to see, taking into consideration what's happening with the dollar index as well?
Well, if you talk about the Indian rupee, now there are various parameters. So let's discuss, if you look at the dollar index itself, it has been rising, but the Indian rupee momentum is quite opposite in the recent weeks. So if you look at the kind of fluctuations of Indian rupee that has happened, because firstly, RBI has done a sell by swap, which means they have introduced a dollar into the system, thus increasing the supply and working into the favor of the Indian rupee. So they have been selling dollar and buying in the Indian rupee from the market in order to control the the quick depreciation that we had seen in the month of March. Secondly, if you look at the recent news, there has been the merger of HDFC and HDFC Bank. So this was one of the major mergers that has happened on the corporate level in India, and this will definitely will draw the international investment into the country. So this is pushing quite a positive sentiment into the Indian rupee as well. Thirdly, there has been a stake buy that has happened into the Adani, which will influx 5 to 6 billion into the Indian economy again, bringing into the forex inflows. So the news have been on the quite positive side. The inflows have been on quite positive side. Thirdly, if the LIC IPO does get scheduled into the month of May, and that will again aid the government into the disinvestment targets, and cool off some of the pressure that is there into the borrowing side. Now, the only risk on this appreciation factor would be if the RBI were able to control the yields. Now, if you look at, there has been a global sell-off that has happened into the yields and leading the long-term yields on the higher side. So in order to get the 14 around more than 14 trillion borrowings that they have introduced into the budget, even the first phase they have pegged at 9 trillion. So to get the cost of borrowing down, they have to manage the long-term yield. So what will be the steps taken towards that? Thirdly, with the RBI meet on the 8th April, what kind of tone that they'll be set into the RBI policy, whether it will be more on dovish, little bit on dovish side, means they'll again postpone the rate hikes, or will be it on will it be on the hawkish side? So the tone of the meet will definitely aid into the Indian rupee. So all in all, I think rupee will continue to appreciate on the shorter term.
Right. With this, we've spoken of how the dollar index could impact the rupee. What's your view on the yen as well? Because clearly, the kind of remarks that we heard from Bank of Japan governor as well, that strengthened the yen against the dollar. Are you expecting this kind of strength to continue?
Well, if you consider the statements that have been come, from Trudeau, of course, he has recognized that there have been quite a regressive decline that has happened into the strength of the yen. But if you look at the overall actions that is taken with respect to that, there is nothing concrete that has come in. He has just acknowledged it, and if you look at the questions that have been asked to him, so he has been quite persistent with on maintaining the policy ultra loose. They have said that they have been quite tolerated with respect to the depreciation that has happened yen, because it will impact the export factor. So I think overall there is some risk with respect to the cost of living or the inflation that will get translated into the baseline factor, but nothing concrete has come in, whether from the Bank of Japan or from the Finance Ministry of Japan. So both are on a different parameters, and I think nothing much concrete, because we have seen it coming down from 125, but it is again decelerating towards that. So 122 around those levels, it's again testing. So I think it will again move towards the depreciative levels, because there is nothing concrete or something steps that have been taken in order to get the liquidity or help the yen towards the appreciative phase. So I think it will continue to depreciate.
Right. So what are the strategies that you would recommend, Ria?
The strategies that one can go forward is with going short into the USD INR below the level of 75.48. Keep a target of 75.30, 75.25. Now, these two target levels are very crucial support into the Indian rupee, because this is the level where we have seen quite a bounce, not once but repetitive. And if it bounces here from that, then of course the greener leg will continue, but otherwise it could lead furthermore. So the very important target 75.30, 75.25. Keep a SL at 75.60. So this is the first strategy. The second strategy is going short into the JPY INR again, below the level of 61.48. Keep a target of 61 with the stop loss at 61.78. Now, as far as pound and euro goes, I think they have been euro has been in a downward trend, whereas in the intraday session, pound has been consolidated. So the major support into those pairs will be placed at 82 and around 99. So these are the two major supports that could happen if they break the level of 82, 86, 99.80. So breakdown of 82.88, 86 for euro, and breakdown of 99.18 for pound will again trigger a downside trend. So keep these two levels in mind as far as pound and euro goes.
Absolutely. So these are few strategies one should be watching out for as well. Thank you, Ria. Thank you, participants, for joining in.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.